Welcome to the Determined Mom Show, the only marketing podcast dedicated to guiding mom CEOs into tranquility, wealth, and multiplying those precious moments.
Welcome to episode 209 of the Determined Mom Show. I am your host, Amanda Tento, and today's episode is going to be short and sweet for those of you who love the short episodes. And today we're going to talk about why you can't wait another day to set up Google Analytics 4. Very, very important. And first, you're probably going to wonder why you even need Google Analytics 4. So let's dive into that. Google Analytics is a technical little tag that gets installed in your website, and it tracks all of your traffic. So it tracks who visits your website, when they visit your website, how they got there, what they're doing when they're there. There's so many different things that you can track. You can track when they click a link. You can track when they download something. You can track a million different things. And literally, I mean a million. So don't let that overwhelm you. But you need to be tracking who's visiting your website, where they're coming from, why they're there, how long they're there, and what they're doing while they're there. Because if you don't know these things, how are you going to know what is working? Very, very important. And it's probably one of the most underutilized tools, again, along with Google My Business or Google Business Profile. But it's very, very underused. And even huge companies underuse Google Analytics. They don't look at their data. They don't understand their data. They don't spend that time that could really be saving them time and money to understand what's actually working. So if you get nothing out of this episode, know that you at least have to set it up, okay? That's my goal, is for you to understand why it's important for you to set it up. You may not need this data now. You may need it in a year when your business changes. You may need it in 2 years. You may need it in 3 years to see what was going on 3 years ago. Anything like that, you just have to really understand that this data is important, and especially for the longevity of your business and knowing what trajectory, where you're going, and what you can do to change what you're currently doing and make it work better. So that's why having analytics installed on your website is important. But why is Google Analytics 4 important? And why can't you just keep whatever you have now, Universal Analytics, going and just keep that? The reason is because on July 1st of 2023, Google is going to pull Universal Analytics, which is the old version, and it's just not going to work anymore. And they're only going to keep your data for 6 months. That means they're only keeping your data from January to July. So if you don't have that Google Analytics 4 set up and tracking, you're not going to have any data from 2022, okay? You should have done this in January of 2022. However, you didn't, so that's fine. Do it now before the end of the year so you don't lose any more information. If you don't have it set up in tracking, after 6 months, you're going to lose that 6 months of data. So it's really important that you know what's going on, how to track it, all of those things. And the good news is that we are here to help. If you do need help with setting it up, we do have a way that you can have us set it up for you. And we have a link to that in the show notes. The most important thing that I want you to take away from this episode is you should be tracking. You should have Google Analytics 4 installed. You can still keep UA4, your Google Universal Analytics, installed, but you must set up GA4 and make sure that it's tracking. That is a must. I also want to touch on very lightly what you can actually use this data for. You can use it to see where people are coming from on social media. If you're posting on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of these places, and you're putting a lot of effort into it, and only one of them is working or two of them are really working to drive traffic, you can stop posting to the others because there's no point, right? I think that's one of the biggest things, especially with solopreneurs and small businesses, that I want to make sure that you understand that you can use that data to find out exactly which LinkedIn, social media, Facebook, any of those are working, and it will save you a lot of time and a lot of energy. And it also will allow you to really focus on that one or two profiles that are working. Another thing that you can use it for is to find out where your people are coming from other than social media. So maybe you did a podcast talk and people are finding your website via that podcast. Maybe, you had a webinar that you did. There's just so many different ways that people can find you, find your website, and you want to know what those are. The other thing that you want to know is how they're getting there, obviously, where they are. Are they all in the United States? Are they all around the world? If they're all around the world, is your website compliant with GDPR? There's a lot of things you can use this data for to consider to make sure that you are giving the best experience to those people that are actually visiting. You can find out how old they are. You can find out what device they're using. You can find out how long they stayed. You can find out what pages they visited while they were there. So many awesome things are on Google Analytics. The moral of this episode, and I'm going to say it again, sorry, you have to set up your GA4 now. Google Analytics 4 needs to be set up before the end of the year, or else you're going to lose data. If you need help with that, just reach out to us in the link in the show notes. If you don't, good job. I love it. And just let us know if you have any questions whatsoever. We are always here to help. Talk to you soon. Let's face it, piecing together a marketing plan with the things you hear, watch, or read online, while tempting, is never a good idea. The truth is, people don't search on social media for your services, and even if they do, they will still be going to Google to check your ratings. By not having a cohesive, proven marketing system, you are leaking clients and customers through giant holes in your customer acquisition bucket. But let's talk about what else isn't working. Posting tirelessly on social media, tracking followers as a business metric for success, paying for ineffective marketing, buying glossy ads in coupon magazines, spending time replying to comments, paying others to manage your social media with no actual sales coming in. So what is going to work? Having a proven marketing system in place will plug every hole in your bucket and allow you to begin to fill up with new customers and to also retain and nurture your current ones. Go to tdm-marketing/6-marketing-musts and download our free guide to 6 marketing musts guaranteed to get you more customers.